Can you chat?
Always.
Ba 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 ba.
Oh, it went on a little long, but it was beautiful. I kept waiting to say hello, and the song, it kept going. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. We both had fun weekends in Texas, not together.
So random.
Isn't that random?
There's so many weekends in the year, and the fact that we both went to Texas, different cities, on the same weekend, it's kooky.
Yes, you were in Austin.
I was. It was so fun. I did a wedding there. So we went a little early. We explored. We did all the Austin hot spots.
Did you do the shit we did when we were there?
A lot of it.
Same
I kind
shit.
of feel like the shit
There's
that we
nothing
did
else to do.
is the shit.
Okay.
But I was laughing so much about that I love you so much wall, because it's like such a benign thing that I don't think they could have imagined what it turned into. And like, no offense, not to put them on blast, like Joe's coffee is mid. Like, I didn't really love my coffee, but I took a picture.
But you were there for the picture.
I was there for the picture. I was like, this place is genius. And I bought the dogs a $20 Joe's dog toy because I'm nuts.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, so that was fun. Ate a lot of Torchies. Well, actually, not as much Torchies as I want to, but I had a Baja shrimp taco, queso.
We love Torchies.
Yeah, love Torchies. And then the wedding was Sunday. Got on the plane this morning, and here we are.
Yeah, you went to work a wedding.
Yes. The original reason was that I had a wedding there on Sunday, and we decided to just extend a little because Tyler had never been to Austin. And it's a very cool city. Like, I enjoy it.
Is it somewhere you'd live?
It is. I think it is, actually.
Really?
Would you?
No.
The thing that for me is a no is the heat in the summer.
Well, yeah, I mean, whoa.
The Austinites were all saying it's crippling.
Crippling heat.
What's the no for you?
Just, I mean, like, I guess I'd live there if I had to. I wouldn't pick it of all the cities to move to.
I feel like it has like we love Madison. I feel like it's a very Madison flavor.
I don't know. I just feel like we go to Madison all the time and there's like still stuff we haven't done.
Yeah.
And I feel like we were in Austin for like 4 days and we did it all.
I mean, I think we did like the touristy stuff. I think like if you live there, interestingly, the girl that I sat next to on the plane was originally from the Bay Area. She was very chatty. She was from the Bay Area, and her husband relocated to Austin. They both work in tech, and Austin is like, she called it like a second Silicon Valley. Like, it's very up and coming in tech. And it was very interesting to hear her perspective. Like,
that sounds like a lot of information from a seatmate that I'm not interested in hearing.
She chatted, which like was fine because I was bored. I was like unintentionally raw dogging the flight, so it was kind of nice. But
I don't think people will know what the fuck that means. Unintentionally raw dogging.
That was like a thing on TikTok. Raw dogging a flight is like when you get on with no entertainment. So my headphones were buried in my bag, which I put under the seat. I didn't feel like digging out. Couldn't listen to my book. Couldn't listen to anything. Didn't have a physical book. The Wi-Fi for the plane was not working, so we couldn't even use in-flight entertainment.
As it goes.
So I had nothing. And so the fact that this gal was chatty, I was like, go on, tell me more about the Bay Area.
Oy.
But so the things she was saying about Austin were like very interesting. She was like, it's very urban, but also has suburbs. She was talking about the diversity. She was talking about the stuff to do for families. I was like, oh my God, are you on the tourism board here?
Yeah, really.
So tell me about Dallas.
Yeah, it was fun. We went to visit my sister-in-law and we got dick down in Dallas.
God, I hope not.
It was fun. I've never been to Dallas before. I'd been to other cities in Texas, but interestingly, it kind of reminded me of LA in the downtown is like not
walkable.
Like the downtown is very like industrial, businessy, like not like downtown Chicago or like New York. Like the downtown is more like where you'd go to like work and stuff.
Interesting.
And there's a ton of different neighborhoods, like a bajillion neighborhoods with all their own vibes.
That's cool.
Like a spread out city. Would I live in Dallas? Probably not.
So 2 cities in Texas
That we don't want to move to.
Neither are on your bingo card.
People were very friendly.
Texans are very friendly. I had the same experience.
And I think like you don't get the, you know how like they're very protective over Texas, but Texas has had such a influx of people moving there that they used to be very like, if you don't have an accent or something, then like they were like, oh, you're not from around here.
Yeah. God bless Texas.
But now I think because so many people have moved there, they can't tell if you live there or not. Like they don't know if you're a tourist. Yeah, people were very friendly. I did try Dutch Bros coffee.
How good?
I mean, what I got was something amazing.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful coffee.
But yeah, I mean, also good restaurants, lots of different neighborhoods. I just could not see myself
living there
because of the summers.
Yeah, no, I, other than that, really do think I could live in Austin. And I learned a lot about the wedding industry there, which was of interest to me, that because it's so, like here, we're super busy in the summer and the fall. Because of the weather, their summers are like non-existent.
Yeah,
there are
like
no summer weddings.
Like
she was
winter here.
Yes. So she was like, we have winter weddings. She was like, this really nice girl from one of the venues was like, you should be a planner here and like do both. And I was like, I don't think you understand how much I'm motivated by being home. Like my objective every day is like, what time will I return home?
Yeah, like I'm not doing this and then flying to Austin.
No, like I'm going home.
This
Everyone
is
was like, why is your flight so early tomorrow? Like, are you sad? I was like, I would have left the wedding and driven to the airport if that was an option. Like, bye. I loved it here. This was a wonderful time. But when I'm done, I'm done.
I must get home.
I must return.
I was thinking about you on our flight because
that's nice. What were you thinking?
because we got there and our flight out there had a screen like in the seat rest thing.
Must be nice. Neither of our flights did.
Yeah, American sucks.
American sucks ass. I'm here to complain about them.
Yeah. We flew United there, and so they had screen rest things. And my husband did not bring a way to connect his headphones to there because I seem to only travel with unprepared people.
Check.
And so I, of course, had headphones, that like wired headphones, in addition to my AirFly compatible that I can plug in to have my AirPods connect. So I used my AirPods and he plugged in my headphones. On the way home, we were flying American. There was no screen. And he was wanting to watch a movie. Didn't have an iPad.
Oh.
Gave him my iPad that he connected to with his AirPods. I was like, guys,
so selfless.
we need to prepare better. When we're traveling, we just need to bring whatever we're going to. If you want to watch a movie, bring something you can watch a movie because we don't know if it's going to be working.
I hear you, and I am historically unprepared for travel. And that rang true this trip as well. But I will say, in my defense, this trip, I was like really focused on the wedding. Like I just wanted to have all the shit I needed for the wedding, and I was packing lists, whatever. So when we got on the flight home today and I finally had like the bandwidth to do something else, I look over and Tyler's playing his video game, and it's a video game sometimes I use to play Mario Kart. And I was like, does that still have Mario Kart on it? And he was like, yeah, do you want to play it? And I thought to myself, I don't deserve to play it. I was gonna take that from him and he was gonna give it to me and I was gonna play Mario Kart and he was gonna sit there, and I was like, no, it's okay. But I did want to play Mario Kart.
Well, way to not be selfish.
He was like, no, play. And I was like, no, I'm gonna nap. But I did want to.
But you don't deserve to.
He had just like done so much schlepping and like getting me from to and fro. I didn't look at one phone app. Like he really was like, this is where we need to go. It reminds me of those TikToks when people are like, when I travel with my husband. Basically, when I travel with my husband or you, I don't know where the fuck I'm going. I'm just following. And so I just felt like he deserved the gaming system.
Okay. Well, that's very sweet of you.
So I just want everyone to know that about me.
I
I'm
don't
really
know.
selfless.
Yeah, that's something we would all say.
Yes, of course.
I don't know how hard it is to just pack what you personally are going to need. It's not difficult. Like on our flight with my husband a few weeks ago to Florida, bitch didn't even pack a book. He had his AirPods and his phone.
I do. Here's the thing. I pack things. None of them seem interesting. Like I downloaded an audiobook. I downloaded a couple of podcasts. I did go to look for magazines. Like nothing was speaking to me. I have to be spoken to by the entertainment.
What are you looking to do?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But nothing called out except Mario Kart. It said play.
Play me.
Speaking of flights, being on 2 flights has really sparked some thoughts in me, and I have
2 flights, as most people usually are when they take a trip there and back.
I just mean like 2 flights in the last couple of days. Let me rephrase. Having recently traveled, I have an icebreaker that is plane themed.
Oh, okay, go for it.
So I'm going to do 3 plane etiquette questions, and I just want your take on them in kind of quick succession, okay?
Okay.
The first one is, how do you feel about people putting their seat back?
Horrible. So rude.
But why do they go back then?
Oh, you think it's okay?
I do, and I don't do it because I know other people don't like it. But I'm like, then why the fuck do we have these reclining seats?
I think it's like if sitting up straight for an extended period of time puts you into excruciating pain. That's why they recline.
That's why, for excruciating pain clause?
Yes. The excruciating pain clause, EPC.
I don't understand that. Like,
your seat should only recline if you experience EPC.
I reclined a tiny bit.
Why?
Because my neck was in EPC.
Oh, okay.
I was experiencing EPC.
So you were experiencing EPC.
And the person behind me didn't say anything. It was on the way there, actually. I didn't notice them even flinch, and they were kind of asleep. But I had such immense guilt. I was like, this is crazy. I want to destigmatize putting your seat back.
No.
If you do not experience EPC and you want to recline, God, English. You paid just as much as everyone else on that flight.
Yes, you do pay as much as everyone on that flight. I just think like the seats are not so uncomfortable, I guess, unless you're flying like, you know, those plastic chair Ryanair planes in Europe. Otherwise, like, just sit in your chair for a couple of hours, read your book, and shut the fuck up.
Okay. I mean,
I think it's rude. Okay, next.
Okay, next was, and this is something we were discussing with your brother. Next to us, we're in a 3-seater. I was in the middle. My husband.
We're in a threesome.
We were in a 3-seater.
You and the girl from the Bay Area.
I won't continue with that. So the 3 of us are sitting. Across from us is a 3-seater. It's a couple who have 2 children. So they have like probably a 4-year-old and then like a 16-month-old, 18-month-old. You know, I have so much empathy for when your baby is crying. They're babies. They're on a plane. There's not much you can do. I thought of your brother instantly, though, because I did not feel like this couple gave 2 fucks that their baby was screaming. Like, he cried the majority of the flight, and they did not change anything they were doing.
Really?
I felt bad for him. I was like, this man is upset. This small man is very upset. They just kept, like, rocking him and, like, putting his passy in his mouth. And he was, like, spitting it out, screaming. I don't know the answer, but, like, as a parent,
you think they should have like gotten up and walked him around?
I don't know. Is there something that they should have been doing, or am I just being unfair? It just felt like, okay, you tried that for 15, 20 minutes. He's still crying. That's not it. I mean, she didn't try to give him a snack when she was crying. He was crying. She didn't try to feed him. Like, she just kept like rocking him, screaming.
Well, maybe he already ate. I mean, how old is he? He can't have a snack if he's too young.
He's like 16 or 18 months. Like, when we landed, she put him down and he kind of like walked in the aisle. So he was older-ish. He wasn't like a baby.
Oh, I don't know. I just feel bad for those
know.
people. What are you supposed to do?
I think it just was weird because I kept being like, I feel like he was annoying his brother too. So they'd put the toddler, like not the toddler, like the 4-year-old in between them. And the baby was crawling between the two parents, crying over his sleeping brother.
His brother was like, God damn it.
I was like, this child is probably like, I'm going to kick this baby.
Okay, so is it a question?
Yeah, the question is like, should they have done something else?
I mean, I truly cannot speak to that as an outsider. Like, I just feel like there's maybe times where someone is looking at us being like, do something else. And it's like, I've already done everything.
Bitch.
I've already done everything, bitch.
Okay. All right. And that's what I said. I said, I don't know. Okay. My third one is.
But you know what I will say?
What?
My mom always says that when she travels, she always has those little like dumb lollipops in her bag because sometimes babies are crying because their ears have popped.
Yeah.
And they
need to suck on something.
To keep them from popping.
Yeah.
And so sometimes she'll offer a lollipop and just say like,
oh, wow.
This used to happen to my kids and it was their ears if you want to give it a try. And I think that's a nice gesture.
That's so nice.
Like if someone did that to me as like a new mom, I'd be like, the heavens have spoken.
As someone who can't even like bring my own iPad, I don't know if I'm equipped.
Yeah, you're not bringing dumb-dumbs
but I
anywhere.
like the idea of it. Okay, this is my third one, and I was totally fine with it. I want to say this, and I think it was totally fine. But the woman from the Bay Area who I was chatting with a lot is currently breastfeeding her youngest child, so she had to pump. As a woman, I have no problem with it, but it required her to be like a lot of time in my space, like in my middle seat, because she kept having to like bend down, pull things up, then she would like turn her body, which I understood.
Toward you?
No, towards the window to be able to like put the pumps on. They were like a mobile one that she had.
What window?
Of the plane. Like she was the window seat.
Oh, okay.
So she would turn her body to like put the pump on, then one wasn't working, so she had to turn back, then she had to reach down to her bag to get a charger. I was so okay with it. I'm curious though if other people would be. Like if people would feel like that was rude. I don't know what else she's supposed to do. Maybe go to the bathroom, but like sit there for 30 minutes? That's not going to work either.
Again, what are you supposed to do?
100%.
I think she did the right thing by booking the window seat.
Totally.
Because at least then you could like lean into the window. Like you're trying to take up as little space as possible.
Totally.
And I think maybe you just say like that you're aware of it in advance, like to the person sitting next to you. Like just be like, I just have to pump one time on this plane and I might bump you a couple times when I'm reaching down to get stuff. I'm so sorry.
Totally.
Like a little acknowledgement goes so far.
100%. And she didn't say anything to me. I think maybe she thought we were like friends at that point. We chatted a lot. But I was like, she's so lucky that I'm seated here. Not like someone does like should be pissed at her. But can you imagine like a crotchety old man sitting there? Like he'd be a dick about it.
Well, that's why I think you just have to get ahead of it by being like, hi.
Yeah.
This is going to happen one time.
Yep.
Once I'm all set, though, like...
we're good.
Right.
No, she was lovely.
Generally speaking, like, I don't know if I would love sitting next to someone breastfeeding on a plane. Like, I don't want to be that close to your exposed tit. Just, like, I don't know.
Are you afraid it's going to do something to you, or...?
I just, like, don't want to see your boob.
Okay.
Unwantedly. You know?
If I ask for it, sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to, like, do a crossword puzzle, and then, like, I see your nipple. It's like, ah!
Interestingly, that feels less, because, like, it doesn't invade my space. Like,
it invades your eyes.
Don't look.
I just said if it comes in my vision doing a crossword.
Yeah, I hear you.
I just, like, I don't want to just, like, see a random boob. It's like when you're in the locker room at the gym.
Oh, and older women are constantly just like, older people in general
are like, this is my body, my choice.
And they have like no qualms. They're like, I'm not trying to be an Instagram model. Like I'm 74.
Yeah, no. Saggy tits, saggy balls, out and about.
Yeah.
They bring the SAG wherever they go.
They have their SAG card.
Yeah. So like in that scenario, it's just like, I appreciate that you're just like walking around naked, and you know, like really old people, it's just like full bush. And you're like, fuck me. Like, oh my God, like it's an assault.
What? You're assaulting my eyes. Is there a policeman here?
Yeah, that in general, just like
Not it.
even if someone is naked nearby, the threat that you might have to see them naked. And like I don't feel that way with people I know, you know? Like
Well, yeah, of course.
Like if we're changing the locker room, I don't care if I see you naked.
But
it's like a stranger naked.
It's assaulting you with their nakedness.
Yeah, like okay, wow,
Whoa.
Like we've seen everybody when you live in a sorority, naked city.
Yeah, a lot of nudity. Just like changing shirts. Hey, I don't like this shirt. Can I wear this? Yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't bother me. It's the like stranger nakedness.
Stranger danger naked. I hear you.
Is that your last
that's
plain etiquette
my
question?
3-part one. Yep.
I wanted to say people have a weird thing about when people take their shoes off on planes.
Yes, you do. You specifically.
I was going to say I don't.
No, I mean like you take your shoes off.
Oh, yeah, I do.
I do too.
I don't mind when people take my shoes off. I absolutely do mind. Do not take my shoes off. I don't mind when people take their shoes off. Obviously, like unless your feet smell like the
ass,
like asshole of hell.
If hell had an asshole, this is what it would smell like.
Then please do not take off your shoes. But otherwise, like I don't care.
I don't care about most things, but I do care if people take off their shoes, don't have socks on, and then pull their feet onto the seat.
Yes, if you take your shoes off and do not have socks on, I think that's disgusting.
One, I think they need to stay on the floor.
Your bare feet on the floor.
Like, don't bring them up here.
I also don't like when people take their shoes off and then don't put them back on to go to the bathroom. Like when you just see someone shuffling down the aisle.
I've done that. I did that on the way to Paris. I remember. I was like, I can't. The flight was so long. I was like, I am who I am.
Yeah, and I was like, please do not do this. And you were like, I'm going. Bye.
Bye. Yeah.
That's a no for me.
I have got to know, like, what happens with our shoes that we're not allowed to wear them through security.
We are if you have pre-check or
That's
you're
what I'm
you.
saying. But, like, here is my question. Like, what?
Get pre-check.
Today we're coming back from Austin and they have, like, the new TSA things where you don't have to take any electronics off. Like, everything stays in your bag. Cool. Just goes through. Beautiful. Amazing. But I still have to take my shoes off. What is the threat of my shoes?
I don't know. Like even we have pre-check, but Mike wore his Birks to the airport. Yeah. He had to take them off because they flagged from the buckle.
I wore Birkenstocks through too today. I was like, guys, like I wanted to pull someone aside, but then you seem so sketchy. Like,
well,
so
yeah.
what? So
please
like,
don't pull anyone aside.
How do I get my shoes through security? It's like flagged. When we were flying to Austin, I had to bring these place cards that were marble. They're beautiful. And I realized after I packed them all for safety that they looked like bricks of cocaine. And I was like, well, this is curious. But I was like, okay, you know what? I'll put them in my carry-on. I'll bring them through. Obviously, I got flagged. But I was thinking to myself, like, you shouldn't worry about me who's obviously bringing home or bringing through bricks. Like, no drug dealer in their right mind is like, here is my cocaine. Like, obviously it's not. And so I was going to make a joke about it to the TSA agent. Like, I'd be a pretty shitty drug dealer. And then I thought,
no,
TSA agents really aren't the target market for comedy.
Move on.
Just move the fuck on. So I thought better of it. But what can you do?
What can you do? Briefly, I know this is a pop culture style story, but have you been hearing the news about Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster?
I have, and surprisingly, he's in my pop culture blind spot. So I don't know much about Hugh Jackman.
Really?
Yeah, I know. It's weird.
He is like supposed to be like so beloved, like one of the nicer actors in Hollywood. Like people really like him. They get along with him. He's supposed to be very like
cool,
easy to work with.
Okay.
And he'd been married to his wife, Deborah Lee Furness.
Older, right?
Yes. Older for like a million years.
Okay.
So they were one of those couples that's like,
you're the real deal.
Stood the test of time. Like Tom Hanks and
Rita Wilson.
Yes. Except she's not famous.
Oh, just a normie.
Deborah.
Oh, that's even nicer.
She's like an actress, but not at all on the same level.
Got it.
As Hugh. And she's 12 years older than him.
Okay.
So everyone was just like, true love. He's with this older woman. They have 2 children together.
Happy.
And everything seemed honky-dory until Hugh Jackman started starring in The Music Man on Broadway with Sutton Foster. Do you know Sutton Foster?
She's in a show you watch.
I watched like the first 2 seasons of Younger, so I can't say it's a show I watch.
Okay.
But she was from Younger. She's really more of a Broadway actress though.
Okay.
Who, like,
she was in Kinky Boots or something. I don't even know why I know that.
was she?
I think she was. It's just like a little bit of info in my brain.
She's like one of the few actors who's crossed from the Broadway world into the Hollywood world.
Okay.
She's 49.
Oh, younger.
A younger lady. She was married from 2006 to 2009 to a guy named Christian, and then 2014 to 2024 to a guy named Ted Griffin. So she's been married twice before.
Okay.
Her most recent relationship with Ted ended when rumors came out that Sutton and Hugh Jackman were having an affair.
So she was already separated from her partner?
No.
Oh, problem.
So it became clear they're both married throughout The Music Man, which was on Broadway from like late 2021 to early 2023.
Okay.
So they were starring in it together, both married. Everyone's like, getting rave reviews, whatever. Then her divorce, it came out a couple months ago now, I think, that her and her husband were splitting up.
Okay.
And everyone was like, oh, that's crazy. Like, they've been married for 10 years. They had done a bunch of interviews about each other when they were doing press, just saying, like, you know, how much they loved each other. Like, he's so great to work with. She's so great to work with, you know, whatever. Mm-hmm. They also had talked about their pre-show ritual, which was meeting in her dressing room for what they called carpet chat. And that, I think, was not seen as weird for 2 people who were married who just, like, would hang out before and, like, have a little, like, this is going to be great. Let's go. But now it seems like carpet chat was maybe, like, more of a carpet pat.
I think either way, carpet chat was dirty. Even if it wasn't happening there, the seeds of something.
The seeds were there.
Even if Pat really was
his seed was definitely there.
Oh, God.
So rumors started swirling after it was found out that Jackman was leaving his wife after 27 years. And his wife started kind of like liking / commenting on things on social media.
That's always what gets you in the comments.
Yeah. So like there was like an Australian celebrity blogger who like posted a couple things like Hugh Jackman isn't the nice guy you think he is, and Deborah Lee Furness liked it, things like that. So everyone was kind of like, why are these 2 both splitting up? And then their relationship has most recently been confirmed. So anyway, their relationship is public now because of random rumors being confirmed. Like, apparently everyone in the Broadway community knew that
this was going on.
And it's just kind of like, now it's too much to deny. They haven't
said it themselves,
but they are together and love is dead.
The optics on it are so shitty. When they started doing this in 2021, I mean, not the affair, but they started the show in 2021 and it ended in 2023. So minimally, the affair started a year ago, maybe more. Like, I think it would be less shitty, still horrendous, but like they met, they fell in love. Mr. and Mrs. Smith style, where all of a sudden Brad Pitt was like out the door on Jennifer Aniston. He didn't fuck around. Well, he did fuck around, but he got out of the relationship. It's like, have they been having carpet chats for 3 years? And Deborah's just like, I have this husband who's loyal as hell. And it's like, no. Because that's a long time. I'm assuming something was going on.
Yeah, I think, again, like the show started on Broadway in 2021, but there's rehearsals for a long time before that. So like, who knows how long they were really hooking up for.
Ugh, makes me sick.
It's not a
feel-good story,
but it is interesting because like, I feel like everyone knew him for being like, Greatest Showman. Like he's everywhere. He's Wolverine. Like he's a huge movie star.
That I know nothing about. It is quite interesting.
That literally nothing
Maybe
about.
I knew in my core.
You knew that he was having an affair?
No, I just knew he wasn't the guy he was pretending to be.
Oh, okay.
You know who really fooled us? You know what other man really had us fooled?
Who?
Lamar Odom.
How so?
Remember how obsessed you and I were with him and Chloe?
Yes.
Like, we really thought he was a nice guy. And obviously that marriage imploded. And then he was found unconscious with a bunch of prostitutes. And that wasn't a great look.
Yeah.
But I am so shocked. Have you heard what he did recently?
No.
He ordered a sex doll made specifically in Khloe Kardashian's image and likeness. It's a Khloe Kardashian sex doll.
No,
he did. And he confirmed it. There's like video footage of him touring this factory. I don't know why the fuck anyone thought they should take footage of this. It's like a promo for the place of him ordering this doll and like feeling the boobs of this doll. And then he's gone on to confirm it. So like it was already confirmed. And then he was like, no. Let me be extremely clear. I did do this.
Oy.
I feel like that's like predatory. Am I crazy?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Like, is there not a law about
Shouldn't
that?
she be like, please don't do that?
I'm confused how they're even able to make a doll in her likeness. Like, can't you take some sort of legal action? Like, please don't make sex dolls.
To do? Like a cease and desist or something? Don't make a sex doll out of this.
I mean, I would if I had as much money and access to lawyers as the Kardashians. I'd be like, you may not make a replica of me. You fucking creep.
That's weird.
And didn't he seem so sweet?
But I think I think his brain was like fucked after all the drug overdoses. Like, I don't even think he's the same person.
Lamb.
Ugh. Did he comment?
Oh, he was in the, like, it wasn't.
No, but did he come out since and say like,
no.
No.
He did recently do an interview where they were like, how much do you talk to Khloe Kardashian? And he was like, not at all. But then I thought this was interesting. He said, but she still cares about me. Not I still care about her. He was like if I shot her a text, she would respond. It's like, because Khloe is actually a nice fucking person and you're a weirdo.
That's what he said?
Yes.
Ugh. He turned into a major weirdo.
Like, not like in a mean way. He wasn't saying it weirdly. He was just like, she still cares about me. And it's like, yeah, obviously she put your whole fucking divorce on hold. But I really do feel like that's like, the sex doll to me is indicative of an issue.
You don't say.
Well, the brothel was the first indication of an issue.
What's going on with Chloe's love life?
I think
Is she with Tristan?
If she is, she's hiding it.
As she should be.
Like, which is the appropriate thing to do. Yeah. I mean, fool me once, fine. Fool me twice, all right. Fool me 3, 4, 5 times. Like, I gotta
fool me twice, all right.
Fool me 74 times. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell you that because we really loved
both. We were such Chloe and Lamb fans. Clomar.
Yeah, Clomar. Chloe and Lamar take wherever they were going.
Not to be mixed up with the popular fertility medication Clomid.
Different. Entirely different.
Something I want to tell you was there's this trend going around called families are calling themselves either living room families or not.
Oh.
And it's basically like families who gather and hang all together in the living room.
Okay.
Or like somewhere of your house, like the kitchen or something. Or families that don't.
So they're just all in their own separate rooms.
Not all in their own separate rooms, but like the kids will like watch, play games in their bedroom, and then like sometimes a parent will come in and hang for a little, like, but they don't like all gather.
Got it.
All together.
In the meeting space. In the WeWork.
In the main meeting space.
In the conference room. Okay, got it.
Correct. So this article says, families that prioritize time together in their living room make connection part of their daily routine. Experts refer to this kind of dynamic as, quote, living room families, and it's exactly what it sounds like, a family that makes it a point to spend time together in the living room or other shared space. Instead of retreating into their own rooms, family members may gather on the couch to watch TV together, play a game together, talk, etc. A living room family creates an environment that makes it easy to build familial bonds without effort, catching up at the end of the day, even for just a few minutes. The idea of a living room family captures the value of togetherness, not in a forced way, but as a daily rhythm that can help families stay connected in small, meaningful ways. And some people are saying like they're either living room families or not.
Yeah.
And they're also saying that their house kind of lends itself to being a living room family.
Okay.
Or it doesn't, and so it makes it a little bit harder. So you know how some houses, like the living
Yeah.
room is like a totally separate space?
Yeah.
So they're like, you know, it's not
off
as
the beaten
convenient.
path, yeah. They're like, we couldn't take those 6 steps. It's a separate wing. Like,
Right.
I'm sorry, where the fuck do you guys live?
I do think when your kitchen and living room are connected, it's like makes it more
Accessible.
living room family vibes because like someone's cooking and like, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I guess some people are saying like there's like living room families and not living room families. You're either one or the other.
In or out.
And you are.
I grew up in a living room family and we are a living room family.
Me as well.
Like, I think it's insane that like people would be home and not, obviously like sometimes you have work to do. I'm not saying like everyone get in the living room, but like the thought that like your routine would not just, like you're not hardwired to be like, oh, let's all hang out together is odd to me personally.
That it wouldn't include, I guess like not every single day.
Of course. Yeah.
But like generally like people all hang out together in the living room. Like, does your family hate each other?
I find that very strange. And I gotta say, I'm trying to think offhand. I don't know if I even really know any not living room families. Maybe like living room families stick together. I mean, I guess I know very few not living room families. I think I can't relate. And I guess the more I think about those people, it's just like they have a different communication style and like priority set, which is totally fine. I just love, like I was saying earlier, my goal is always to just get home. Like when I was growing up, I loved being at home with my family. We'd watch TV together, we'd hang out, we'd chat. Like I love at the end of the day, Tyler and I will like eat dinner. And if like we have no plans, we just like sit in the living room together. And I would fully anticipate when we had kids, they would be a part of that. Like it would be weird to be like, see ya.
Especially I think when they're like elementary school age, like, yeah, you all hang out together. Maybe like they do homework. But you know what? I didn't do homework like in the kitchen or living room. I did it in my bedroom.
It depended on the day for me growing up. So like if no one was home, I didn't sit in the living room by myself. I would go up to my room to do homework. But like if everyone was home, I would sit in the living room and do homework. Like sit on the floor at the coffee table.
But yeah, I wonder if there's people who like strive to be a living room family and they just aren't. Take a good look inward.
Do you want to be a living room family? I guess maybe you don't, which is weird. Just kidding. Speaking of families, did you see that MGK and Megan Fox are having a baby?
I actually didn't realize they were still together. Fascinatingly.
I think by design. They've gotten very like ambiguous.
Oh, they don't want people to know they're still together.
I mean, they announced the pregnancy, but when she was on Call Her Daddy, she was like a little cloak and dagger about it.
Remind me, Machine Gun Kelly is who? Like he's a musician?
Yeah, he's a musician. He has the spiky blonde hair.
But what kind of music?
Like rap. He's
a rapper?
Yeah.
Is he in a band?
No. He's just Machine Gun Kelly.
Okay.
Cool,
man.
Cool. Yeah, they were like hot and heavy in our faces for a little bit, but then they broke up and that was like some Instagram drama, and then it just became
like
secret.
they were all over the place in the time of
when Travis
and Courtney,
because they're friends. Yeah, I mean, they were very PDA, they were very like in your face, and then something must have happened. She never really spoke on it because they announced their engagement. Drama ensued, and then we didn't hear much from them. But they did make the announcement and made it very clear, like, it's Megan Fox and her fiance. So they did make that distinction.
Oh, they're engaged?
Yes, they were engaged pre-drama.
I did not realize.
Mm-hmm. They're like soulmates of the sky.
Soulmates of the sky?
Like it's written in the stars sort of people.
Oh, like you and I.
Exactly. But like, I think they did some freaky shit. She's very like your rising sun, moon, Capricorn energy. You know who else they were friends with? They were friends with Lala and Emmett.
Oh.
Like very good friends. She went on back when Emmett was on Lala's podcast, her and Machine Gun Kelly did like a couples podcast.
Interesting.
And talked about like they're twin flames. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I forgot that. They're twin flames.
Which means?
Don't know.
But it sounds nice.
Yes. It's very like, what's the word? Cosmic?
Ethereal?
Yes, but cosmic, like destined from the gods.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully this baby is also part of the destiny.
A destined baby.
Yeah.
As all babies really are.
Yeah. But I think, fulfilling the prophecy of these two being together. I did think the pregnancy announcement was a little weird. I feel like baby announcements should be like cute. And hers was like her doused in like a very slimy liquid. Did you see the photo?
What the fuck? No.
Oh my God, I didn't know you didn't see it.
Oh, I just got a chill. What kind of announcement's that?
Yeah, it didn't feel like babyish to me, which is like,
what sort of slimy liquid?
it's so hard to say. I'll send it to you and you can tell me.
Oh, like tar.
Like, is that non-toxic? I feel like when you're pregnant, you shouldn't be like,
What does the caption mean? So just to say, it's her naked but covered in like black paint or tar.
Mm-hmm.
And the caption is, "Nothing is ever really lost. Welcome back."
Yeah.
I'm confused. Do you understand?
No.
As a social media.
No, because I don't understand. I think like their whole vibe is like, we don't understand. Like maybe it's alluding to when they were broken up and nothing is ever lost. Maybe it's talking about the hope of the future. It could mean a million different things, yet it means nothing. She's a little weird.
You don't say.
I'm just like, was this product safe for the baby?
She has other kids?
Yeah, 3 older kids with Austin Green.
Brian?
Sure. Brian Austin Green.
Yeah.
Those 3-part names always fucking get me. Like, just pick 2.
Pick a name.
Pick
Jonna Marie.
2. I picked 1. Jonna.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Do you want to do a Daily Dilemma?
Please.
So this person posted and said that she's a woman who's in her 60s. Her and her husband are both fortunate enough to be retired.
Okay.
And they downsized from the house that they owned and like raised their children in to a smaller home, but a home that still has like 4 bedrooms and a big basement and backyard because they wanted it to be like a grandchildren's haven. Yes. Okay. And they have 4 kids who all still live in the area.
Okay.
And when they downsized, their youngest had just started college. So they had like no more kids actually living at home.
Okay.
And their oldest is now in her early 40s.
Okay.
Married. So 3 of their kids are married. One of them is in a serious relationship. And none of them want children.
Oh, no.
And so she wrote this post on Reddit saying she has 3 daughters and a son.
Okay.
And the son is the youngest. None of them want children.
Oh, no.
And she wrote a post saying that her and her daughters got into an argument that she didn't mean to turn into an argument, but they were all out to dinner one night. And she was like, trying to be like a respectful mom, like not pushing too much on her kids. But she eventually was like, so girls, I've got to ask, like, what kind of timeline are we on for having kids? And the oldest was like, well, I hate to tell you, Mom, but like, I'm too old. And she was like, you're not too old. And she was like, like so-and-so, her husband and her have talked about it. And she was like, and we just don't really want them. Like, we both love traveling, whatever. And then the next one was like, yeah, we've been back and forth, but I don't think we're going to either. And then the youngest, who just got married like a year ago, was like, I really don't think we're going to. Like, so it just kind of like all came out that none of them
plan to have children.
And the mom was like, what?
Not to make it about this mom, but like, what happened in your house?
So the mom went and posted and said that she was like obviously upset. She didn't mean to, but she started to cry because she's like, we've been planning to be grandparents.
That's sad.
And she said, on top of everything, I loved being a stay-at-home mom. She raised her 4 kids like she wasn't working. She just like being a mom was her identity.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that she's heard being a grandparent is like even better than being a parent. And so her and her husband were very excited. Like she was like, my husband and I also like to travel, but we also are excited to be grandparents. And more and more people are choosing to not have children.
I saw that somewhere, actually.
Interestingly. So a growing number of Gen Xers and baby boomers are never going to become grandparents. It says a little more than, this article I wanted to say. So on the heels of this article coming out called The Unspoken Grief of Never Becoming a Grandparent, the New York Times wrote about the growing trend of Gen Xers and boomers never having grandparents. And it says
never having grandchildren.
And it says a little more than half of adults 50 and older had at least one grandchild in 2021, down from nearly 60% in 2014. Falling birth rates are one reason. But of all of the reasons, one of the biggest is that many millennials just don't want to. So this woman was saying in the post, like, this was a dream of ours and I feel like I don't have any control over it. The article said a lot of parents who then like are talking to their therapists, a therapist is quoted saying a lot of parents wonder, like, did I mess up as a parent that my kids then wouldn't want to have kids? Like, none of my kids want to have kids. What is that?
It is weird.
What does that mean? And the therapist is like, most of the time, no. I mean, obviously sometimes, yes, but it's just part of culture these days is people aren't having as many children or children at all. And this girl says that her and her husband really didn't want children at all. And the hardest part of that was not being able to give her parents grandchildren. Like, she was like, that was the one thing that was like
keeping
us from being 100% sure. And she was like, part of my process of figuring that out is that like, oh, this is something I'm not going to be able to give my parents after they've given me so much. But you obviously can't just have children for your parents. So anyway, the dilemma is, do you think if you're kind of on the fence and your parents are like set up to be grandparents of the year, does that sway you one way or the other?
I really don't think your parents should sway you one way or the other ever. I do think something I've noticed is people who are on the fence. Now, of course, there's always outliers. Like if you're on the fence and you really would be a horrible parent, or like you're on the fence and like you're not equipped to be a parent, great. But I feel like in older generations, if people were on the fence, because like unless you're so sure that you want to be a parent, it's a daunting, scary thing. And I'm sure everyone at one time or another is on the fence because it's scary. It's a huge undertaking. It's a huge commitment. You're going to be this child's parent forever. People are always like, quick 18 years. You don't stop being a parent when they're 18.
Well, yeah.
So like this is a total different experience. And I feel like older generations were like, okay, we're going to have kids. And a lot of the time that was a great decision. Obviously there's the outliers who were shitty parents or not equipped or whatever. But I feel like now it's like we're on the fence, so we're going to lean no. And it used to be we're on the fence, so we're going to lean yes. And we're going to have one and we're going to see.
Right.
And I think that's interesting. I don't want to like overgeneralize, but I do think a lot of the times the reasons I hear from people saying that they don't want to have kids, I think are things they've told themselves, because it's not like you can never travel again. That's always what I hear from people who are like saying,
yeah, we like
kids.
to travel.
We like to travel. Who doesn't like to travel? Like, yes, travel is great, but there's a way, maybe you're not going to take the same sort of trips, but there's certainly a way that you can travel and take time for yourself.
Yeah, I know you love going to Paris, but like, how about the Indiana Jones?
It's the same. Have you seen it in the spring? But I just mean there's a time and a place, you know, for everything. A time to laugh, a time to grieve, how that song goes. Like, I love to travel. Like, I love it. But I also want to be a parent. And I doesn't mean I'm never going to travel again. Like, people are like, I love to travel. Oh, okay. You have a kid and travel at some other point.
One thing I wonder is that, like, obviously birth rates have fallen because, you know, something's in the water.
Yeah.
And people can't get pregnant as easily. But
something by that, you mean microplastics and pollution. But yeah.
Other than that, I wonder if people have kids less because back in the day it was like if you didn't get married, like our grandparents' generation,
yeah,
specifically, if you didn't get married, it was like what you were like a social pariah.
Yeah.
And so like you got married and had kids. And so I think there wasn't as much of an emphasis on finding like the one.
Yeah.
It was just like more about finding a one. And so then that's just sort of what you did.
What if a show from then was Are You a One?
Are You a One?
The popular show from the 1930s.
It's just like a variety of like black and white screens of men walking into the living room.
You're a one.
Meeting a girl's parents.
Totally. Sorry.
You're a one. I think now there's so much more of an emphasis on like finding the one, like the person you want to spend your life with, like really like vetting it and like dating a lot and dating different types of people and like that sort of vibe. And so then when you find that person, you're more content to not have children because you're like, I'm complete.
100%.
I wonder if that's part of why people are like, I don't need to have kids. Like, I found this person who I want to spend my life with, and like nothing could add to that. Versus back then when it was like, I hope something adds to this.
But I think interestingly, I would think, or my experience has been, like, I always said to you before I was with Tyler, like, we would always say, like, what's more important to you, having kids or finding the one? And you always were like, having kids, and mine was always finding the one. And I still stand by that. Like, if I
it's hard to have that conversation when I had already found the one.
Right. No, I understand. But I'm just saying, like, that was what we would have conversations about.
I was just kind of like, I'm not on the fence about having kids at all. And you were like,
totally. But I was like, if I have to pick one, I would pick finding the one. And now, having found the one, it seems crazy to me that I wouldn't want kids with this specific person. Like, I actually I think you're right, but it's crazier to me that people would find a one, be like, you're okay, I guess, and be like, you know what we should do? Procreate, be attached forever. If this doesn't work, we have to shuttle the kids between the two of us. Like, that seems more insane to me, as opposed to when you find the one, being like,
but back then it wasn't even like, if this doesn't work, it was just like, we won't get divorced, there's no shuttling,
we need a buffer.
Yeah, it's like, I hope there's someone else we can spend time with because I fucking hate you.
I hate you. Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you, but it is interesting that more and more people, when they're finding the one, I would have thought that maybe birth rates that birth rates would have gone up, because it's like, I feel so solid in this relationship, I love our life, and like, kids can only add to it. But people are like, I'm selfish, I just need you.
Well, neither of ours is a scientifically backed reason. We're just speculating.
I mean, I'm sorry, if you're coming here for scientific facts,
switch on to something else.
You're gonna need to look into something else.
So yeah, my answer to that question, though, back to the original, is feeling guilty for my parents and my in-laws, like, would 100% sway me.
I understand, but it shouldn't.
No, I know, but it would. Like, if I was like, I really don't know, I fucking love travel. Like,
I'm a travel fiend,
but
I am
like-
so sick of people telling me they don't want to have. Like, if you actually can give me a different reason other than travel, fine. If one more person who says they aren't gonna have kids tells me it's about travel, my head's gonna explode.
yeah, agreed.
Do they think they rip up your passport on your way out of the hospital?
They're like, and when will I ever get to go anywhere again?
Oh, anyways, yeah.
If I was like, we just really, you know, like we love being dinks, which I think is just the dumbest acronym.
Yeah, that's pretty dumb.
But like my parents and Mike's parents were like, we're so excited to be grandparents. Not even like the pressure of like when you having kids, but like we can't wait to be grandparents. Or like they downsized to a house that has room for 50 in it. I would be like, well, I'm so sorry, we have to. Like I can't let everyone down. It's not about me at that point.
I don't feel that way, truthfully.
Oh, okay, good.
Like I wouldn't be swayed. We do want to have kids, but like
You're more evolved.
no, I'm not more evolved. I'm more like anytime you do something like that, it's a recipe for disaster. Like it's so hard for you to imagine, I think, because you were never on the fence.
Right.
But I truly think if you were on the fence and the only thing making you have children is your parents being grandparents, I can't imagine you're going to be an amazing parent.
No, I think if you're on the fence and like your family's very supportive and there, like you're like, and you know what, they'll be there to help us along the way. It doesn't mean you're not going to be a good parent. That is a very aggressive take.
No, I don't mean it like because of them. I just mean like you're not, I sound like The Bachelor. You're not doing it for the right reasons.
I don't think that's true. I think there's a lot of people who are like, I think we might want to have kids. It could go either way. And you have like this very supportive, involved family. And you know that like having kids and bringing kids into that family would be a great experience. And you're like, all right.
You can't,
like,
you cannot trust anyone. Like you can't bank on people's help is what I'm saying.
I'm not saying help. I'm meaning like a family experience.
Totally.
Like your case specifically, if you and Tyler were extremely on the fence, like you have no dad.
So true. We don't say it enough.
Just to put it bluntly. You have no dad and you have no other siblings.
Yep. That's true.
And so
let's get to the point.
I'm
so
saying
it's just you and your mom.
So your mom is like very excited to be a grandma.
Totally.
And if you and your husband were like, I don't think we want to have kids, you wouldn't feel bad about letting your mom down.
It's so hard to imagine because like,
but try and imagine.
No, but like what you were saying before, like you were already with Mike. So you were like, obviously we're going to have kids. I can't even imagine. But if I was already in the place where I didn't want to have kids, being swayed by my mom, I think would be, because it's just like anytime you do something for someone else, you're creating a petri dish for resentment.
But like imagine the pressure you would feel. Like you're with Tyler and he's like, yeah, I never really wanted kids, whatever. And you're like, I could have gone either way, but like my husband doesn't. And so we don't. And then you have to tell your mom that.
I understand what you're saying. It's just so not my reality. So I can't.
But could you try?
I've tried.
Do you know what empathy is?
I do know what empathy is, but I really think, I hope if it's such a crazy world. If we're in a world where Tyler is like on the fence about kids, and if I'm in a world, so now two ifs have happened where I'm also on the fence about kids, then, and I have guilt about my mom, I would hope that I would be strong enough to say, we have to decide if this is good for us and not let my mom's emotions factor into that. I'm not saying you can't go the other way, but the deciding factor should not be for someone else. You should ultimately decide to have children because you guys want to have children. I believe.
Of course, ideally. I'm just saying like this particular poster saying like, she was saying that she'd like saved their, books from when the kids were little to read to her grandparents.
No,
like,
I understand
all that shit. And then there's these 3 girls who are all married and like finances
I think
aren't a
it's
problem.
weird that you have 4 kids, and like I definitely think if it's 1 or 2 of your kids, it's a coincidence. But when you're 4 for 4 and not wanting to have kids,
Something's weird.
Something has happened.
But I think if I were one of those daughters, I'd be like, one of us has to take one for the team. Someone have kids.
It's not like dedicating a Sunday to making a scrapbook,
But
though.
just like, it's not like you're going to hate your kid and then like
We
your
don't know
parents will
that.
be so happy.
We don't know that. If you're calling it, not that you are, but if you're saying having a kid is, quote, taking one for the team, I can't imagine.
But I'm saying she said all her daughters were kind of just like, yeah, we were sort of on the fence and I don't think we're going to. Then you need to put your heads together and someone has to lean the other way.
It's time to pull straws, ladies. Yeah, I don't know. I hear you and I think it's interesting and I don't fully understand it. I think there's certain circumstances, like if people are very committed to their career, that's a legitimate one. When people are like, we're really committed to our careers and we don't feel like it'd be fair to have a child, or
But at the end of all this, you leave your parents with their 4-bedroom home empty. And that is not something I can swallow.
the flip side of it though is you have a child and you are not equipped either emotionally or
It doesn't sound like any of these people are not having a child because they're not equipped emotionally.
we don't know these people. They could be sociopaths.
Okay.
Ladies, if you're listening, call and let us know if you're normal.
Yeah, call and let us know.
I think it's an interesting sitch for sure, and I feel bad for her.
Well, I hope they call us.
I hope they call us.
In the meantime, I'll call you later.
Call you later. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.